This is a female yellow-bellied sapsucker. You can tell it's a female by its white throat patch. Males and females both have a red head. Oh, tucking its head back in. So this bird just took a peek out of its nest hole at me. I'm standing in the woods in my backyard looking at an incubating yellow-bellied sapsucker in an aspen tree. So this is this year's fresh nest hole. It has some blonde inner bark that's exposed when you look inside the tree. And just up above it, about a foot, is another nest hole, perhaps last year's nest hole. I didn't see it here last year, but I sure wasn't looking as much. So here's that tree. It's an aspen tree, its favorite species to nest in. And that's due in part to the softness of the wood. And usually when these aspen trees are infected by a certain type of fungus called a tinder conch, it rots out the inner part of the bark, makes it soft, and the outer part looks very much alive. However, this is a dead tree. It was probably killed by the tinder conch, and it provides some nice soft wood for that sapsucker to excavate a nest hole. So I'm Phil Brown from New Hampshire Audubon, bringing you a nest video from my own backyard. This week, all week, I'll be bringing you a series of nest videos from birds that I've discovered in my own backyard. So this sapsucker, male and female pair, has been here excavating since about, say, the middle of May, I think, is the first time we noticed them here. And now it's June 1st, and the sapsuckers are sitting on eggs, incubating. They have between 4 and 7 eggs in this cavity. It's fun to think about what that nest looks like on the inside, since woodpeckers and other cavity nesters don't really give you that opportunity to see the inside of the nest. However, what I do know from reading about it is that it's rather gourd-shaped, rounded at the bottom and narrower on top, and about 5 inches across generally. And both male and female will do the excavating and kind of carve out that nice hollow interior. And it's probably lined with some wood chips and wood shavings that the birds have stashed there. Let me take another peek at it here. I just saw some movement. So, there's a leaf in the way. Maybe that's, oh, here we go. It's an exchange. So the female went out. Here comes the male. Fitting its body right in there. Wow, you may have had a quick look at it here, but the male has a red throat. We may not see that again for a while since they take turns every few minutes. Woodpeckers have interesting tails. They have stiff, downward pointed tails that hold the bird up against the tree. They act as little props in a way that help it stand erect on the tree. They also have claws or feet that are both forward and backward facing, so 2 toes in each direction, helping it cling onto trees better. Most songbirds don't have that adaptation that woodpeckers do. So it looks like maybe that's the image that we'll get today here. And I'm glad we got to see this because it takes a lot of waiting around in order to see that next nest exchange sometimes. So there we go. We got to see it in about 4 minutes. Saw both male and female. And I'll show you a little bit about sapsuckers in a book that I have with me. So sapsuckers are here mainly in the spring through the fall months. They are wintering in the southern U.S., southern up to mid-Atlantic and sometimes up to Massachusetts, rarely into New Hampshire, but there are some winter feeder records. So male and female sapsucker here. Let me zoom out. So here's the male showing the bright red throat, female showing the white throat. They have a long white wing stripe also that goes vertically downward. And here's the feet that I told you about. Here's a better look at it. 2 toes in each direction. This is a juvenile bird, which is rather barred and more grayish brownish. And they are called yellow-bellied sapsuckers. And you really have to get a good look at the undertail to see that yellow belly color. But there's the range map showing how far they breed into northern Canada and even up to eastern Alaska. Basically, though, they breed all the way down through the Appalachians, the central Appalachians, and they winter in the southern U.S. Some will migrate as far as Mexico and the Caribbean. So these are a rather long-distance migrant woodpecker, about 8 inches in length overall. So I just wanted to bring you a little bit of an image of a favorite backyard bird. Our sapsuckers here have been back since early April in this forest. Fairly average, run-of-the-mill forest, mixed deciduous and coniferous here, white pines, maples. But yeah, those aspen trees, that's the tree species to look for a sapsucker nest in. And I'm glad we got to see it today. So anyway, so stay tuned to New Hampshire Audubon's Facebook page all week for more nest videos. I'm not going to tell you what they are, so I have some exciting surprises in store over the next few days. And check out our website, www.nhaudubon.org. We're keeping you connected to nature during this time of social distancing. So I hope you're staying safe and enjoying the birds of your own backyard, perhaps, in a new way. Look closely at things, follow birds. You're apt to find lots of nests right now if you really are a careful observer. So it's nesting season. Enjoy that, and stay tuned to our Facebook page. Thanks a lot.